Good morning, good morning. It's a marvelous day. Hey Eileen, good morning, good morning. How are you today? Little Toby Dog's out doing his thing. We're just a couple blocks from home. This is about usually where he goes to the bathroom. These two lawns here. We're about 3 blocks from home. How's your day, Eileen? You're in the USA, aren't you? Wow, here's somebody's got their Halloween stuff up already. All scary. Graveyard. Spider web going into the tree. That's pretty scary, huh? These guys go all out. I like Halloween. Halloween's my favorite holiday. Well, not holiday, but, well, I guess it is a holiday. I like to give out the candy. I like to scare the kids on the when they come to the front porch. I've got a pair of coveralls that I wear and a leather gloves. Kind of look like the Jason guy, I guess, but I use a paper sack on my head, a little, not even a full-size paper sack, a little small one, and just tear some eye holes in it and use a magic marker to scribble a mouth. Oh my gosh, it scares the hell out of everybody. I remember one year sitting on the porch and not moving, and the wife was handing out candy, and I would move every once in a while, and the little kids would scream. Even the parents were scared to come on the porch. Whoops, you don't want to see that. I'm sorry. Hey, New Zealand, how are you doing, Daniel? Whoops, I don't mean to show you the dog doing his thing. I'm just so used to pointing it at him. Now I gotta clean up after him. That's the best thing about walking a dog in the city, is they want you to clean up after them. Hold tight, folks. Let me deal with this baggy situation. Toby, hold tight, man. Yucky, yucky. No matter what baggies they got for you, the smell comes right through them. And I don't have a pouch or anything. It'd be neat to have a pouch to carry it in, so I carry it in my pocket, in my, the extra pouch. What do you call it? Cargo pocket. But first, I throw it in a double baggie, so I don't have to smell it. I don't think they've made plastic yet that poop smell doesn't go through. I'd like to wear the pants all day. Okay, Toby, let me fix leg. Let's fix the leg. Okay. New Zealand, you guys got these kind of dogs down there in New Zealand. I know in Australia they grow really good breeds. I mean, lines of this breed. Nairoff, I think, is in Australia. Nero, they're big time. This guy, 3 generations back, he's got Nero blood in him. Nero, the cohort, I believe, is a great grandfather 3 generations back. He did really good at class last night at our dog handling class. We're getting better. Teacher's real impressed with us. We've come a long way. Earlier this year at a dog show, one of my friends, acquaintances that's a professional handler, I asked her after a turn in the ring, I told her, give me the brutal honesty. Was it me or was it him? And she told me, that's the most unprofessional looking handling job I've ever seen. I told her, thank you. Thanks for the critique. You know, you don't really grow or get better until you get brutal honesty on critique on what you're doing, you know. And when she told me that, I figured I gotta up my game. So we're in another new class. We've got a Tuesday night class now that we go to, and that lady's a professional dog handler, and she's got multiple national champions under her belt, on her resume, and she's really good. I believe she's the reason we did so well 2 weekends ago. The training I'm getting from her, we looked really good. Toby got a best opposite sex of best of breed on 2 Saturdays ago. Here's some more Halloweeny. Oh, Eileen, you're in the Philippines? It's already Christmas. Are you kidding me? People are putting up their stuff already. It's not even Thanksgiving. There's more Halloween. Here in the U.S., it's pretty big, the Halloween. Some towns you get lots and lots of kids. Some years we get a lot of kids, some years we don't. Some years we get a bunch of teenagers coming by. Some years we don't. I like to see the little kids having a good time. We pass out a lot of candy. That's the one. Other than Christmas, you know. That's the holiday for the kids. Might as well hook them up. And then I get to eat candy all day too. Everything he wants is always at the end of the leash. He cracks me up with that. Wow, that's crazy. Eileen says that where she lives, when you go to malls and supermarkets, Christmas decorations are up already. That's really crazy. We're not even through September. I guess they got to get everybody in the Christmas mood early to spend that money. Spend. I give out money. Rarely do I go buy presents anymore. I pick up Christmas cards and birthday cards, stuff them full of money. That's what everybody likes. Hey JD, how are you today? Dearest JD, my dearest. Look at it. Look at this boy, JD. He's looking so good. Wow, Christmas season here starts September and runs through January. Wow, that's a lot of Christmas. Come here, Toby. We got a busy street. Sorry about the crazy camera. We gotta wait our turn. This guy's not gonna let us get across the street. It was our turn to go, but he decided he was more important than us crossing the street. JD, we're taking a walk through my village. This is this is Titlepro Village Life. Village Life with Titlepro. Here's one of our favorite landmarks. That's in our live streams a lot. The church spires. We're gonna get on the rail trail. We're gonna walk till hopefully make a big circle and be home by 8 o'clock. It's 7:10 right now. On a little bit cooler morning. I think it was 50 degrees 20 minutes ago when we left the house. You can see the colors changing already. That's a nice red. Half the leaves are gone. I think the weaker trees. Oh, there's a real shocking red there. Look at the red on that tree on the side of that house. Isn't that pretty? Where's my neighbor? Eileen, are you talking about the neighbor with the big black dog that I run into out here on the streets? There's another red tree coming up. You can see it. Look at that, right through the other tree. You know it's fall when the trees are starting to look like this. Look at that shocking red. Wow. Can you guys hear the chickens? My neighbor across the street, we're not in my neighborhood. We're down the street. The chickens are yapping from over there. But my neighbor across the street where I live, she delivered me a couple dozen eggs yesterday. Fresh chicken eggs. She's got, I think they've got 5 chickens. Really good eggs. The shells are real thick. The yolks are orange. They're not that strange, that weak yellow look that you from the eggs you get at the grocery store. And they're all different colors: green, brown. No black ones, and no white ones. Green, brown, orange. Toby's looking good. He had a bath 2 days ago. I washed his legs last night before class. I gotta wash his legs every day to keep the white. Because once it stains yellow, I guess it's hard to get back white. Come on, you gotta leave that. You gotta leave that. We don't know what that is. Come on, Bubba. We don't know what that is. Eat something and get sick. Where will we be? Anytime, anywhere. Anywhere, anytime. JD says it's 2:12 in Nairobi, Kenya. And it is 7:12 here in Michigan, USA. And I'm guessing it's 7:12 p.m. over there in the Philippines where Eileen's at. I believe we are 12 hours a straight 12-hour difference. Eileen, mainland USA and Philippines. What's new, JD? How's the dress shop doing? Hey, Care Bear. Hi, Daniel. 11:15 p.m. in New Zealand. 7:15 in the Philippines. I gotta figure out how to keep this camera steadier. I see it bouncing with every step. I must take a real heavy step. I got Toby's DNA test. Came in the mail a couple of days ago. I've got to swab his mouth still and send it in. Maybe we'll do that this afternoon. I didn't get to it last night. We got home from dog training class. My stomach wasn't feeling good, so I laid down for a minute. And next thing I knew, it was 1 o'clock in the morning. So I got up and went to bed. Hold tight. Hey, Priscilla, how you doing? Thanks for coming by. Diste? Did I pronounce that right? Diste? We're in Michigan in USA. This is my little village that I live in. It's a pretty big village. A lot going on. But it's a village nonetheless. It is a city though. And we've got little cities connected to us, alongside us, townships that are highly populated. Today, here's the rail trail. We've been walking this the last few days, going in that direction west, going down to the river and walking to the north end of town. I'm not sure if we want to do that today. It's rush hour. I'd rather not deal with the traffic. I'm trying to figure out which way we want to go. If we go east, it limits our path home. I think maybe we'll just keep heading south. This is the street that I live on, but we're probably, a mile from home. 3/4 of a mile to a mile. Yeah, Michigan's beautiful. Dista. It's a beautiful. If you're in the center of it, you drive 2 hours east or west, and you've made it to one of the big Great Lakes. From here, I can get to Lake Huron. Well, Saginaw Bay is part of Lake Huron, so technically I'm right on Lake Huron, but you can get to the clear water parts of Lake Huron in 45 minutes, half hour north or east. Around town here, the water's a little murky, but it's cleaner than it was. But you can get to crystal clear water in 45 minutes. We go up to a beach called the Singing Bridge, and it's about 45 minutes north of here. It's the closest, cleanest beach nearby, you know what I mean? And there's no DNR patrol there, so they can't, there's nobody there to tell me that Toby can't be on the beach with the people, is what I'm trying to say. Where if you go to the state parks or the city parks or county parks, they limit the animals, and they limit them that you got to have them on leashes. And I know the state park up in Tawas has got a doggy beach, they call it, but it's only like 100 feet of beach, and the dogs aren't allowed anywhere else. I don't like that. You should be able to go wherever you want. Hey, Tony, how's it going? Thanks for coming by. Most of the people live in the southern part of Michigan. That's where all the big cities are. And a lot of people go up north for weekends and holidays. That's a big thing here in Michigan. Is going north for the weekend, going to either cottages or hotels or camping. Lots to do here. Lots to do with nature. Look at this boy running around. He's hunting for something to sniff on, something to eat, something to chase. Well, looks like we get to clean up some more scat. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's highly regulated where you can, in the populated areas where you can have your dogs and where you can't. Oops. There's a place we go on Sundays. There's a park that we go on Sundays with other people that the dogs are supposed to be on leashes, but we let them off because that's the day of the week the animal control people don't work, is the Sunday. Are you all set, buddy? Folks, I got to set you down for a second. I got to set you down a second to deal with this. Leave it, Toad. Toby, you stinky boy. Let's move on. Hey, John D. What's going on, bro? Good morning, Anastasia. How are you today? How's your afternoon going? Oh boy, there's another dog way down. I think that's our neighbor friend. Oh, it looks like they're crossing the street. That's not our neighbor friend. Toby's eyeballing him like he knows him. Come on. Come on. This is what Toby does when he sees other dogs. He wants to meet them all, so he's going to lay down and wait. Good morning. There's a big dog. He doesn't look too happy or very nice. Toby always wants to meet every dog and be nice, but he's always look at him. He's ready to scrap. That other dog made a woof, so Toby's ready to scrap. Toby get beat up. Wait. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, we're good, Bubba. We're good. Holy cow, I didn't know the road ended this soon. John D says that he's getting ready for work there. John D's a firefighter. Yep, great way to start the day, John. Yesterday we walked for 2 hours. We usually try to get an hour in, but we were downtown and I wanted to show everybody our town, so we stuck it out. Plus we were far from home. Today we're only going to go for an hour because I got to get home and get to work. Oh, this is a nice area. Look at these houses. Look at those lawns. Holy smokes. I don't see a weed. Reminds me of my lawn. Not a weed to be found. Now, these houses are 1950s, 1960s maybe. 1950s, I'm betting. Look at that backyard. A basketball hoop. Pretty nice area of town. This is, we're 15 blocks from my house, which is a little over a mile. The houses get newer, and the lawns get nicer. My lawn's been there for over 100 years. My house was built in 1917. We took a bunch of bushes out last year and the year before, trees and bushes out of my yard. And they had been there a really long time, so the roots and the branches were really thick for being shrubs. They were just regular shrubs like on the corner of that house 80, 90 years ago. They were huge when we took them out. Took out a big pine tree, a big black walnut tree, and all the bushes from around the house. Right now we've got there's a landscape company working on drawing a design for to landscape the house the yard now. Hopefully they'll be ready before winter time and get it in this fall. They were supposed to come last fall and do it, but they were too busy and we were at the end of the list. This is what they want here in America. Be a good neighbor. Please clean up after your dog. Which we don't have a problem with, because I don't want people leaving all kinds of dog poop in my yard either. Look at this boy. Everywhere he wants to pee. Yeah, John D. When I did 2x4 real 2x4 construction, you're right. When I replaced the roof on my garage this last summer, earlier this year. Oh, when was it? No, it was the end of last fall. I'm sorry. I had let it go it should have been replaced 10 years ago. And there was a tree overhanging it, so the roof was rotting and leaking, and the roof boards and the rafters needed to be replaced. I replaced all the roof boards, and I replaced a bunch of rafters and sistered in some rafters, but it was a little difficult to get everything to match right. I had to use wedges and shims because of the difference in the size of the 2x4s. Everything was real 2x4 in my garage, and everything I bought all the replacement wood was today's 2x4, which is 1/4 inch less all the way around, just about. No, we're not going to town today, Anastasia. We're out in the neighborhoods. It's rush hour right now. I don't want to deal with all the traffic and the people. So we're on the street that I live. Only we went south to the opposite end of the street that we normally go. Normally we go north. Or when we go south, we don't go this far. But this is a nice neighborhood down through here. Look at this landscaping. Whoa. Whoa. This is what mine's going to look like when the landscapers get done. Except for the big rocks. I'm not going with big rocks. Look at that. Look at that place there. Wouldn't you like to live there? Wow, this whole neighborhood's landscaped nice like that. We're almost to the end of the street. Everybody's got nice yards here. That's a beautiful place. You don't see... Oops, come on. Sorry about that. Herky jerky. There's another nice house. All through here they're nice. People take care of stuff down through here. Come on, Tobe. In the neighborhoods. One thing I noticed when I'm seeing the neighborhoods from, let's say, Anastasia, or when Dami was in Nigeria, was that there's no paved streets and no sidewalks in other parts of the world. Here it's automatic. The neighborhoods, you got streets and sidewalks. All right, John D. Thanks for coming by, man. Thanks for stopping by. Do what you got to do, bro. I don't know if they're rich. Probably people down through here they're probably in the $60,000 to $100,000 a year range, We're at the end of my street. What is this? This is a school of some sort. An old abandoned looking school. That's funny, I don't even know what it is. If you look that way, you'll see that the houses are older style. And if you look this way, you'll see that it's all nice new houses, newer houses, 1950s and newer. And you look this way and it's all 1920s, 1930s. No tall buildings really back through here. We're in the neighborhoods. Downtown, there's taller buildings. There's, well, most of downtown is 3 stories. The county building, I think, is 6 stories. City Hall's probably, well, City Hall's huge, like a castle. We're just in the neighborhoods. On the north end of town, the houses are twice as big and really well maintained, where all the big mansions are. You go north to the north end of town, the houses are bigger, like I just said. South end of town, the houses are smaller. As the town got bigger and bigger, they couldn't go any further north because of the river. On this side of town, the east side of the river, they couldn't go any further north because the river cuts it off. So it just kept getting bigger south. And as the decades went on, they just built smaller, more compact houses. These are like where the worker people lived, versus in the north end of town, all the big mansions where the factory owners lived, businessmen. I'm not doing too good reading the chat, I'm sorry. Oh, you want to see mansions? You'll have to come back tomorrow or the next day. We'll go north and you can see mansions. There's lots of them. This area was founded in the 1850s. That's when the whites made a city here. Before that, there were several Indian encampments in this area, right on the site where our town's at. It was big Indian village. Behave. Yeah, I usually get out about the same time. We leave the house between 6 and 7 because I really need to be back by 8. A lot of times, half the time we don't make it back till 9. And I have to work an hour later, but that's no big deal. Come on, Tobe. Look at that. That guy's got to be going 45 or 50 in a 25. I didn't think he was moving that fast, otherwise I'd have waited. You don't expect someone to be going that fast back here in these city streets. Now you saw all the well-kept yards. And now in this part of town, there'll be a bunch of yards that look like that. Not so well kept. Yeah, there's Anastasia asked, do I have rental houses in my neighborhood? And I'm guessing about a third of the houses in my neighborhood are rentals, maybe just a quarter. The houses on three sides of me are owned, and on one side it's a apartment building or apartment house. There was a house, we may walk past it, speaking of hoarders, where a guy, I worked in a factory with a guy, his name, they nicknamed him Pockets because everything he saw on the ground he picked up and stuck it in his pockets. Well, his house was full from top to floor to ceiling with junk. And when his mom passed away 20 years ago, he moved out of the house and just left it the way it was. And he died recently and the house sold. They sold the house. It had been for sale for 2 years. Nobody would touch it because it was completely full of trash. And I think it's like a 5-bedroom house, 2-bathroom, 5-bedroom, brick house with fireplace. Really, really nice. If it was fixed up, it was probably a $150,000 house here in this town. But it sold for $40,000 because it was so full of junk and dilapidated. And I've been walking past that house for 40 years, and finally, when they were working on it, I think it was 2 weeks ago, the workers let me in the house to look around. And it had beautiful woodwork and brickwork fireplace. Just a beautiful house. But they told me that they took 6 dumpsters full of trash out of there. And that the basement was still half full of trash. And when the people that bought the house bought it and walked in for the first time, the house was completely full except for a pathway that went from the front door up to the second floor into a bedroom. And it was covered, it was floor to ceiling trash except for the little pathway. And then half the bed didn't have nothing on it, and the other half of the bed was full of trash from the top of the bed to the ceiling. The whole room was packed full except for half of the bed and a little pathway to get to it. That's crazy. Yeah, I've seen that too, Dista. That show Hoarders. That's wild. Hey, Helen, good morning. Good morning, dear leader. How are you today? You see, we made our live stream, but we're not going to make 2 hours today. We got to get home and get to work. We've got another 20 minutes to go probably, but I know we're further than 20 minutes from home. We're deep in the south end of town with our boy Toby. Our boy Toby, yes indeed. Yes indeed, little buddy. You heard your name? You heard your name? He's a good boy. He's such a good boy. So lucky. Anybody for some hopscotch? Toby, you playing hopscotch? Wow, this guy's got a big yard. That's one thing I never even thought of. I bought my house when I was 18 years old, and it never even occurred to me I just jumped on the opportunity, you know what I mean? There was an opportunity to purchase a house inexpensive. So I jumped on it. It never occurred to me to look for a house with a lot of yard or what neighborhood it was in. Look for a house in a different neighborhood. I surely would have liked a bigger yard. And I'm not going to move. Too old to move. How old is Toby? Toby is going to be 3 years old the 29th of this month. He's just a baby. He's just a little boy. He's just a little boy. Come on, little boy. He's moving like he's pretty happy this morning. Should have put the other leash on him, one of those retractables. He could have ran around, but I didn't want him getting all wet and dirty, seeing as I just bathed him less than 48 hours ago. I worked so hard when I was a young guy. There was years that I had 2 full-time jobs at the same time. It was crazy. I worked and worked and worked some more. I had kids to feed as a young guy. Let's see what we got here. $1,000 reward for a missing kitty. That's that same kitty. We've seen that poster in different parts of town. Baseball diamond. That must be where the high school plays. It says Bay City Wolves on it. Fran Danick Field. Oh, it's the softball field. Fran Danick was a coach at Central and teacher when I was a kid there. You can see the sign right there. It says Fran Danick, or Danick Field. So that's the high school softball complex for the girls. Come on, Bubba. She was a teacher there when I was there, yep, and coach. So my high school this weekend on Friday night, the American football game, they're celebrating the stadium at the high school where I went being 100 years old. And we might just go watch the game. I haven't watched a game down there in 30 years or more. But I think we'll go for the 100-year celebration. There'll probably be people I know. I played there 40 years ago. Oh, more than that, 44 years ago. 100-year-old football stadium. It's a real nice looking stadium. They got all kinds of pictures all in the hallways of the surrounding buildings of the stadium from back in the 19-teens and the 1920s and 30s. Everything looked so cool back then. Hi, Ira, how you pronounce your name? I hope I got it right. We live in Michigan in the USA. I wasn't managing my life as a young guy. I was reacting to life coming at me. I wish I was managing it at 18. No, I was just reacting to all the wrong choices I was making at that time. But the opportunity was there to buy a house at that age. And I paid that house off. And then I mortgaged it. And then I paid that off. And then I mortgaged it again. And now I'm buying this house for the 3rd time. But that money was used for good every time. I know they don't pull that boat with that Mustang, but you never know. Nice Mustang. Hot rod. Here's one of our fire stations. It's closed now. They used to have a big fire tower here where they practiced running up the stairs and hauling the hoses up, and they hung the hoses to dry from it too. I don't know, it's gone. Oh, a mortgage is a promissory note when you buy land, when you borrow money against the land. Most of the time people here, they borrow money to purchase, and that's their purchase mortgage. And then they got a mortgage where you borrow money against your equity, and that's a home equity loan. And they've also got owner financed type mortgages, lending, that's called a land contract. That's how I bought in the beginning. I bought on a land contract from the owner, not a bank. I made payments to the owner for years and years. Here's a street with no sidewalks. We'll take that. That's odd to find a street with no sidewalks. Hey, Amira, how are you? Good morning. Thanks for coming by. What? We are near Lake Huron, John. We're right at the mouth of the Saginaw River, and that dumps into the Saginaw Bay, and that's on Lake Huron, 100 miles north of Detroit, as the crow flies. Houses around here, I think they average around $50,000-$60,000. There's houses that can be bought for $30,000 that are usually pretty dilapidated, and you got to put a lot of money into them to fix them back up. And then there's stuff that you just walk right into that's in the 60s and 70s. The house next door to me, 2 years ago, I think it sold for $92,000. Crazy price, I think. House across the street from me, about 4 years ago, sold for $88,000. And when I bought my house, I think it was $25,000. But so were those houses around us. That house across the street that sold for $88,000, I think 20 years ago it sold for $30,000. People fixed it up. They put windows and air conditioning and things like that, and jacked the price way up. I got an uncle that just retired. He lived out in California, and his house wasn't much bigger than one of these houses here. And when he bought it, he paid like $40,000 for it. And when he sold it, it was worth over $1 million. Just because of location. California. We're getting talked to. All these houses here, you could probably buy any one of these for around 60 grand, I'm thinking. 65. But you're not done there with the purchase price. Then you got your yearly taxes. We're one of the highest tax communities in Michigan. We pay big big property taxes every year, and every year they cut the services. Like snow plowing. You don't see a snowplow truck for 3 days after the storm if they come at all. Last year, the worst storm of the year, they didn't come. The snowplows didn't come down my street till the 3rd day after the snowstorm, and by then, it wasn't needed. Come on, Tobe. By the time they come down my street, they're scraping concrete because the snow's already melted. All the money, all our tax money gets spent on wages and pensions for city and county workers and retired people, the retired county workers, city workers. Yeah, exactly. To Princess Amira, $1 million a piece for nothing, just to say you live in California. We walked through here yesterday. We walked that way. Today we're going to walk. I really don't want to walk into the sun because of the camera. Let me think. Hold tight, Tobe. We got to head this way anyway. Just they figure the tax on both, anything attached to the land. So if you have a mobile home, when they bring in mobile homes, those get taxed like cars, and the land gets taxed as empty land. But anytime you attach something to the ground, anytime you build something stuck to the ground, they add it to your taxes. So they tax the land, and they tax the value of the house. Assad Danger Brand, I see your name. Hey, Assad Danger Brand, Toby Dog's #1 YouTube fan. How's it going, bro? Toby, say hi to Assad. Hey, say hi to Assad. Hi, Assad. Yeah. How's it going, Assad? Did you get your computer fixed? Is that what you told me the other day? Look at this boy. He looks like he's got something to say. Yeah, we'll get water. We'll get water when we get home. We're not that far much further. I watch his tongue. If it starts hanging out the side of his mouth, then I know he's thirsty. He sees something. We pay taxes twice a year here in this state. We pay a winter tax and a summer tax. And if you don't pay your taxes, if you miss a year, the state takes your property over, or the county does, and then they'll sell it to the highest bidder, which is usually the bank that holds the mortgage on it. You don't actually own anything here, the land. In reality, you rent it because of the damn taxes. Look at Toby's eyeballing. There's a guy coming at us on a bicycle. Toby saw him from way off. You can see the little squirrel Toby's looking at. Just ran up in the tree. Toby gets excited. I don't blame him. Whoa, whoa, come on, buddy. He's only 55 pounds, but he can sure pull 55 pounds of muscle. Whoops, whoops. Good morning. Come on, buddy, let's keep moving. We gotta get home now. We're already gonna be late. Yeah. So much for being home by 8. It's gonna take another 20 minutes. Our boy's looking for squirrels and rabbits. There's usually a lot of rabbits along here too. All the benches along the route are dedicated. People pay for them. Let's see if I can. In the memory of Earl and Ruth Van Sumeren from their children. Their children donated the funds for the bench. Everything along here is donated like that. Like even the little park, the little tree and everything here. It says, this pocket park is maintained for your enjoyment by Wade Trim Incorporated. Here's another bench dedicated to somebody. Downtown, the stuff gets even fancier. Donated by Kentucky Fried Chicken, Bay City, Midland. Kentucky Fried. Oh! Toby. Toby sees a squirrel up in the tree. Squirrels running along the trees. And now the squirrel's barking at him. That's hilarious. Come here, Tobe. Where you going, bud? Whoops. The squirrel's up there barking at Toby. That's hilarious. I keep telling Toby you're not going to catch one, but he keeps trying. He keeps kicking up rabbits too. But when they take off, when they jump up and take off, it leaves them just standing there because it shocks the heck out of them. Yeah, Eileen, we're getting close. We're still at least 3/4 of a mile, if not a mile away. But we're heading in that direction. We got to take a left up here somewhere soon. Head north. As you can see by the sun here, we're heading east, right into her. It's supposed to get into the 80s today. Starting out, when we left the house, it was 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Turn. These houses here, 1930s, 1940s. Oh, I imagine some of these houses got termites. Oh, hey, John, we are alongside Lake Huron. I think the Saginaw River splits our town in half, and a couple miles upriver or downriver it empties into the Saginaw Bay, and the Saginaw Bay is part of Lake Huron, 100 miles north of Detroit. But if you drive 2 hours the opposite direction, 2 hours west, and you get to Lake Michigan. Maybe 2.5 hours. That's where, right now, that's where all the really good fishing is. There's no, they used to plant the salmon on the in Lake Huron, east side of Michigan. But they stopped planting them back in the early 2000s because the fish that they ate had died off. So they stopped planting them here. But they still plant them on the west side. So if you want salmon, for sure, you got to go to the west side. But if you want to try your luck, you still catch them on the east side, but very rare. You don't catch the Chinook salmon or the cohos. You catch like a Atlantic salmon, pink salmon. Ouch. Figures. 10 blocks to go, and one of my knees just twisted. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Oh. Hold on, Tobe. We're going to have to take a break here. Knee pain break. No, you wouldn't be in trouble, but you just have to, get all the zoning and all that correct. There was a dentist that had two of the mansions side by side on the main street in this town, or on the row where all the big mansions are. He had two of them side by side, and he wanted to tear one of them down to put in a swimming pool and to make his yard bigger. Well, when he applied for the demolition permit, the city and the historical society told him no, he couldn't tear the house down. And then just by coincidence, the following winter, the pipes in the basement froze and burst, and nobody was there. And the basement flooded, and it flooded for a month or two. And so the house had to be torn down after the city and the historical society said that he couldn't tear it down. So I think they gave him a big fine for not maintaining the house because it was in a historical district. You would think that you'd be able to do whatever you wanted on your property, but sometimes the zoning and the county won't let you do it. Like filling in a low spot. Here in the U.S., a few years ago, I don't even know the name of it. The Bureau of Land Management decided that that areas in your yard or on your land that flood occasionally and then drain, they decided that they're wetlands and under their jurisdiction. So they made it was a big power grab. And they made it so that you couldn't fill in low areas on your land if it flooded, because they said it was for migratory birds. But now that Trump's in there, they're changing all that. But yeah, even though it's the land of the free, you still can't do what you want. Everything you want. Yeah, historical districts are serious, man. They're worse than homeowners associations. Historical districts here, you can't even paint your house, the outside of your house, a different color. You have to get it approved by the historical district committee. You can't put in new windows. You can't do anything. Everything's got to be approved, and all the materials have to be like, you can't put modern. They have to be modern. If you're putting in modern windows, they have to be styled like the old stuff. They want everything correct to the time period. So that's something to think about when you're buying land or buying a house in a city. If it's an historical district, stay away. Turn, Tobe. We're gonna go to the party store. Just for reference, here's where we are, everybody. If you've been watching our live streams, you'll know this church. Come on, Tobe. And we're almost a mile, half mile to 3/4 a mile from home. As a crow flies. Yesterday I took everybody through the pull-through. Is that what we call it? The pull-through? The drive-through? What we call it here is the drive-through. In Kenya they call it the pull-through, I believe. At the Starbucks, Toby got him a face full of whipped cream. Dista says, I am amazed at USA, but knowing that when you miss paying taxes, they can take your property. Oh, Lord, I'm happy to be in the Philippines. Haha, yeah. I don't think, Anna, you guys don't pay taxes like that every year, property taxes, do you, over there in Kenya? Once you buy something, you own it forever? Pass through. Yeah, there we go. Why the tears, Helen? Depends on the drive-through. A lot of them won't let you because just to ask, can you order at the drive-through just by walking through? Most of them won't let you because they figure it's not safe. We're going to get our money out quick so that we're all set when we go in the store, because we're going to take Toby in there with us. Yeah, John. Great Lakes are gorgeous. We used to take trips every year when I was younger, just to ride up north. We'd ride up the coastline and drive back through the center, or ride up through the center and drive back along the coastline, just to look at the trees turning colors, to look at all the different colors of the trees. Come on, Tobe. Come on, little buddy. Let's keep moving. See that sign? That's where we're headed. Coming into the 7-Eleven, folks. Not usually, but a lot of times I tie Toby up right here and just leave him. But today we're taking him in with us. Here in the USA, you can. The therapy dogs are allowed to go where they need to. Come on. Good morning. It's our brand.
Gotta watch out, she'll run you over in the parking lot.
How's it going? It's Toby Dog. You want to say hi? Whoops.
Hi, puppy.
Oops, down.
Nope, she's fine. I grew up with dogs my whole life. They don't bother me a bit.
There you go. He'll be 3 at the end of the year. Or not the end of the year, I'm sorry, the end of the month.
Good dog.
Can I get a sack, please? We're walking.
Good dog. I'm just watching that on TV. I
Think
think today is adopt a dog day.
Oh, is it? That's cool that they that.
Yesterday was double cheeseburger day.
Oh.
So why wouldn't you adopt a dog today?
Take it easy. Anastasia says land in Kenya, about owning land and taxes. She says, Kenya, you own it forever, but also in town area. If you want to build, you just pay the county government for approval, and that's all. But if it's a rental house, you have to pay 8% of your income for tax. That's not bad. 8% not bad at all. What does Eileen say here? But there's, whoops. But there's a lot of sorry stores in the Philippines, much cheaper from 7-Eleven. Oh, there's party stores. We call them party stores because they sell beer and liquor. But there's party stores everywhere, and they're all cheaper than 7-Eleven. But 7-Eleven's the closest. Well, I can't say they're all cheaper because the party store 2 blocks down that way that we usually go to, their soda prices are higher than the 7-Eleven. We got a store here in town called a 612. It was a fella had applied to be a franchise owner of a 7-Eleven, and they denied him. And he got so mad that the 7-Eleven, the spot that he wanted to put it, somebody else got the franchise and put it there. So right across the street, he bought the land and put up a party store and called it 612. Come on, Toby. Let's keep moving. You got the 7-Eleven and the 612. A walkthrough. That's funny, Helen. Look at that. Anybody need some socks? Move along, little Toby. Move along, little buddy. The 612, yeah, it's pretty funny. Look at that Spider-Man bike. If Unfiltered Maria's little kid likes Spider-Man. There was a nice looking German Shepherd on that porch there where Toby just jumped around at. Uh-oh, better behave, Tobe. There's an animal control truck right there. You better behave. They take you away. Yeah, they take you away, buddy. Oh, funny. Oh, the walk through, Ellen. Yeah, it's funny because opposite of the drive-through or the pass-through, pull-through. What do we call it in Kenya? Let me look back here. Pass-through. Here's another nice place. Look at that. No weeds in the grass either. Look at that. Oh, I see one. Toby needs his own camera, a GoPro. I wouldn't have to hold this one. Who's number one crown right now? Ideal Eileen. Got the number one. Who's the rest today? Let's see. Top fans. Ideal Eileen, number one. Dista, number two. John D at number three. Miss Amira at number four. And Anastasia Blessed at number five. And many, many more friends after that. Look at that. Oh, a lot of people stopped by. I like this yard here. It's all wildflowers. They took out all the grass, replaced it with mulch and flowers. Pretty cool. Come on, Tobe. Around, around. I hate it when people block the sidewalk. That's just such an asshole thing to do, to park across the sidewalk like that. Where are the people supposed to walk? Jackass. And Helena Coria is bringing in number 6. You know what I miss? I miss the loops. Are people still making loops? I wish there was a way. Another thing I miss is I wish there was a way to play music on the cell phone while you're broadcasting live. That would be great if the phone could do two different things. You made a loop yesterday? Just the loops are when you record a couple of minutes of video and put it on the live stream over and over again, where it plays over and over for hours and hours. You do that for oh, look at the pumpkins hanging in the air. See that, Mama and Boga? Pumpkins and squashes hanging in the air. You do that to collect watch hours. You let them play for hours and hours, those loops. A lot of them are pretty cool. You use and then after you got your video, you got to use one of the, like, Restream, one of the services that'll let you loop it like that. Whoops, hold on, Tobe. Hold on a second. I gotta wipe the sweat off. Got a sweatshirt on today, and we've been walking so long I got all sweaty. Oh, that is the loop. That is the most annoying thing ever. I hate that when people do live, just playing not live videos. That's why it's live. You're supposed to do live stream. I didn't like the loops at first to see them, but then when I understood what it's for, I embraced it, and we made a bunch of loops. We were looping every day, every other day, with Toby videos, 1 minute, 2 minute Toby videos, and then just playing music, playing crappy music because it sounded horrible. I didn't realize it sounded so bad until I went back and listened to one of them. And then I was embarrassed for what I had done. Playing the music that nobody can hear. I figured it out though. I just had to get a better speaker. Oh, the loop. You play the loops so you can collect watch hours, because you got to have so many watch hours to get monetized and to stay monetized. So people run the loops so that other people can just set their computer or phone to it and watch it for hours, leave it play. I think is the purpose and what they are. That's what I understood it as, a way to collect the watch hours. And also chat, because there's also chat along with it. Now we're a block from home now. They tore these streets up 2 weeks ago and a little bit last week, and I don't know what they're doing now. They haven't worked on it this week. They didn't work on it at the end of last week. There was no trucks here. I don't know what they're waiting on. The next street over is tore up worse, though. They're supposed to be replacing all this street here, but I don't know when they're going to work on it. So do you live in a city, or do you live out in the villages? Oh, I picked Toby's name from a book. I Googled classic names for Border Collies, and Toby was one of the main ones. I like Toby too, the name. The next Border Collie is going to be named Kip, K-I-P. That's another classic Border Collie name from where they were developed. Scotland, Ireland area. There's the back of the Shamba. There's still lots of tomatoes there you can see. We picked berries yesterday. Cucumbers hanging there, you can see. You can see cucumbers hanging. Come on, Tobe. I'll walk to the backyard. I didn't bring the key. We can't go in the back. Toby's eyeballing the squirrel across the street. We picked all kinds of green beans yesterday and the day before. The day before, I picked a bucket full of green beans, give them to the neighbor right next to me. And yesterday, we picked a bunch of green beans and gave them to the neighbor across the street. So, there's some green beans, but they're little babies. And then there's some that got away from me, some great big giant ones like right there you can see. I let the big ones, I'm gonna let the big ones go, and the lady across the street's gonna can them up with hot pepper sauce. Toby. Here, baby. Here, baby. You don't want the green bean. You don't want the green bean. Crazy boy. He usually eats them. They're so sweet. Come on, Bubba. Okay. Here, lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Oh. Sit on the porch for a couple minutes here. Yeah, I like that name, Kip. Oh, John, that's a big area, 2.5 acres. Is it wooded? Is it open? Do you garden? 2.5 acres, man. You can have all kinds of fruit trees, apples and peaches, plums, pears. When I was a young guy, an old guy that I worked with filled my head full of that every night. You need to buy yourself some land, a piece of land. You need to plant some trees so that when you're an old man, your trees are bearing fruit. And if you and plant hardwood trees so that you can sell them when you retire. But I didn't listen to him. Do you do that, John? You got fruit trees? Ha ha ha. The leaves are just now falling. It's just now, everything's just now falling. That and the kid that cuts my grass didn't show up this week. He's supposed to come on Sundays or Mondays. He didn't show. I got another guy to call. End of the year, end of the season, the flowers. I still get some flowers, but a lot of them are dying off. Yeah, I got another guy to call. Come cut the grass. The kid that I call, well, I think he's about 13 years old. I think 11, 12 years old, kids start cutting grass around here. That seems about right. Although my grandson, my oldest grandson, I don't think he's ever cut the grass. He's 14. Toby's never cut the grass either. But he looks so good, he doesn't have to. Yeah, John D. Interstate 75 is about 10 minutes away. We use I-75 for just about everything, if you're heading north or south. East-west, we use US 10. You see our walnuts everywhere. They're everywhere from this tree here. The black walnuts, a relative planted that tree back in the 1960s or 1970s, and it's grown quite big. Just a second here, we gotta drop off. I got a bunch of acorn squash yesterday. I still haven't made it into the house. They'll get in there. John D says his land is 75% open, 25% wooded. We're planting apple trees. We have blackberries and are planting blueberries too. Excellent. Excellent. John, are you like early 40s? That's a great time to be doing that. Great time. By the time you retire, your trees will be all mature. And if you planting hardwood trees too, your 20, 30 years, your trees will be ready to harvest. Buddy. Yeah, a guy told me that when I was a young guy, but I didn't pay attention. I paid attention enough to remember it, but I never acted on it. Never had no money. All the hard work I did when I was a young guy went to raising kids. I sent my kids through the private schools over here, and they're quite expensive. Yeah, I like blueberries. I've got some blueberries growing in the backyard here too. Blueberries and strawberries, and raspberries. We've been eating raspberries recently. There's a lot. They're flowering right now. I usually everything I buy. I try the berry stuff. I try to buy the ever-bearing, so we get multiple crops every year. Yeah, I didn't know the value of it, Anna. And I thought it was just an old man talking back then, talking to me about it. But now that I'm an old man, excuse me, I see the value in it. Get you some land, plant you some trees, grow you some fruit. Once you pay for your trees, the rest of it's free. Well, no, because you got to spray them every year. Pesticide, but I just now planted fruit trees. Hopefully, maybe next year I'll get an apple or a peach. This year the late frost killed all the apples, and my peach tree died over the winter. And this new peach tree, when it came, it had peaches on it, but they hadn't been sprayed. Excuse me. So I took them all off. Hopefully next year we'll have a lot of peaches. Yeah, Toby's all Border Collie. At least his paperwork says so. He's AKC. He's an AKC dog, and his pedigree. He's got a great pedigree. When I got him, it came with a four generation pedigree. 4 generations plus him makes 5, so he's all Border Collie. He's a big boy. He's 20 inches at the shoulder, and he's got a lot of fur. Here, the Border Collies, I show them in the dog shows, Dista. He did real well 2 weekends ago. And we've got another dog show coming in 2 weeks. I just got in the mail, I think it came Monday, a genetic test for him. There's a couple ladies that want to breed with him, with their dogs. And so I got to have his genetic testing done. I got to have his hips and elbows checked, all the good stuff, to make sure he's the healthy specimen. But he should be, because his parents are clear genetically, and hips and elbows wise. So he should be clear. He should be fine. We did a heart check and an eye check so far. And like I said, I just got the genetic testing package. I got to swab his cheek and send it in. No, we're not that good yet as a team. We're getting better though. We just started showing. He was a year and a half, I think, old when I started showing him. because he didn't show as a puppy because I got him on a pet contract, and the breeder didn't want to change the registration until he was a year old to make sure see how he matured. And so once he hit a year old, then they changed the registration, and I was able to show him, but he had no training. So he had no training, and I had no training, because we didn't even know if he was going to get the registration changed. So we didn't spend time with him training him for the ring, and the dog school he goes to didn't spend any time training him for the ring. But in the last year and a quarter, we've been going to all kinds of classes. We're doing really good. We just got to get in front of the right judges. We did 2 weekends ago. We scored points on 3 different days. On Thursday, we got a 1 point for best male. Same thing 3 days in a row, but on in the class dogs. On a Saturday, we won best opposite sex of best of breed. That's the 3rd time he's won that, best of opposite. Yeah, my first choice is Border Collie, even though before this is the first pure Border Collie I've had. Before Toby, there was my daughter had a dog here that was half Border Collie and half Australian Shepherd. That was a great dog. He was really good. I spent a lot of time walking with that dog, playing. My daughter has Australian Shepherds, and but I got this Border Collie boy. And he's not a crazy Border Collie either. He's super calm. You can see how he's not bouncing off the walls or nothing normally. Not normally, but other Border Collies are usually crazy. This one's pretty cool. Cool, calm, and collected. Before I was saying before Border Collies, I had Pekingese. So we're kind of going from one extreme to the other. We had a beautiful Pekingese named Ariel. And then when she passed, we got a second. The next Pekingese was named Melody. And Melody was a little black and white fluffy girl. And she could fetch like there's no tomorrow. She would have won any kind of fetching competition for sure. Well, folks, I'm 40 minutes past my cutoff time. I was supposed to be working by 8. So I guess we'll go a few more minutes. Since we're late already, we might as well stick it out for a full 2 hours, which is about 14 more minutes. Yeah, well, that's life. Just everybody and anything that is born is gonna die. Thanks for joining us. How did you find us? Just off the feed? Just scrolling on YouTube? Yeah, I know where Heartwork Pines is, John D. That's just up the highway here. Oh, you want to see me exercise? Watch. Woo! One more. I think that walk was enough exercise for a while. For today. We're almost 3 hours. No, we're almost 2 hours. Yeah, I'm glad you did stay. Just this is what we do here on my channel. We just go for walks and talk. We used to we used to not even talk. The first few months we just walked. And that was our slogan. No talking, just walking. And we've evolved. Then we went to doing the loops, and now we're actually doing live streams. Real live streams. Hi Grace, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Oh wow, John D. We got a common past. My dad was career Army, and we traveled everywhere also. And everywhere we went, if there was a military museum or even a VFW post with old tanks out front or cannons or something, we always stopped and checked it out. I've been on just about every decommissioned aircraft carrier, destroyer, whatever along the southern coast and the east coast. We stopped everywhere. We went on submarines and destroyers, whatever. Uh, Visited old battlegrounds and stuff like that, military museums, and traveled all over the country. And changed schools all the time. Did you have to change schools a lot, John D? I counted. Before I even hit high school, from kindergarten through 8th grade, I changed schools 13 times. If you can believe that. And then in high school, I was just in one school, 9th through 12th grade. I managed to stay in one spot. But yeah, I changed schools. We moved that much. Kentucky, Louisiana, Texas, Colorado, Hawaii, and Michigan, and Germany. We were everywhere. Virginia, Washington State. Um, I think that about covers it. When I finished high school, I was 17. A month later, I turned 18. 14 different schools for 11 or 12 grades. Crazy. There were 2 years that I changed schools 3 times in one year. Needless to say, I never learned anything in those years. Those are the years that you learn how to write sentences and paragraphs and punctuation. I can't do any of that. Good morning. I'm an old man. A lot of times I use AI when I have to write long long emails or business letters. I have to use the AI to get it right. Check the punctuation. What do they call that? Spell checker. Oh, we're almost to 2 hours. Can't believe I talked this long. Toby likes to sit out here. He lays out in the backyard in the fenced area all day until from after our morning walk. He goes in and he eats, and then I let him back out right away, and he lays outside until about 1 o'clock. That's when the sun hits the backyard, and once the sun hits the backyard, he wants to come in, and he comes in and relaxes somewhere, usually underneath the desk. Or he'll lay right behind my chair up against it so I can't move it. Usually he's right there, right with me wherever I'm at. Yeah, clingy Toby. Originally, there was a junior handler that was supposed to handle him for the dog shows, but he's so clingy he doesn't want anybody. When you hand somebody else the leash, excuse me, he's constantly looking for me. When they're running around, somebody else is running him around the ring, he's constantly got his head turned, looking at me or looking for me. So nobody else can really show him. The next dog won't be like that. The next dog will be anybody can show him. It's all about the early training. Morning. Hey Maria, good morning. You got here just in the nick of time. We're getting ready to go. Got about 7 more minutes, and then it's time to get to work. Time for Toby to get some breakfast, and me also. We got fresh eggs yesterday from the neighbor across the street with the 5 chickens. So I got eggs to eat. What kind of dogs you got, Dista? How many you got? Yes, Maria, we're done walking. We got I think we walked for about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. We've been sitting here a good 10, 15 minutes. Yesterday we walked for 2 hours. That was a long walk. And then still made it to class last night and ran all around. We did really good. Oh, you got 2 dogs. Cool. Are they boys and girls, or one of each, or two boys, 2 girls? Eggs and what? Eggs and probably some toast. Oh, I got bacon. I've got bacon and I got sausage from the meat market the other day, 2 or 3 days ago. I can cook that up. Toby eats kibble. You know, like boys. Toby eats kibble and canned vegetables. I buy canned vegetables, no salt veggies, carrots and green beans. And he eats like 4 or 5 ounces, probably 5 ounces of green beans or carrots with each meal, along with 8 or 9 ounces of kibble. He just lost 10 pounds. He was at 65 pounds, which was way overweight. I didn't realize it. I thought he was healthy. I was feeding him the way the bag tells you to feed him, the way the dog food bag tells you. But obviously it was too much. And it took about 4 or 5 months of dieting and exercise to get him down to 55 pounds, which is a really good weight for him. Perfect weight. Oh yeah, Toby eats vegetables every morning, except for this morning. He eats green beans with me and snap peas when we walk through the garden picking peas and green beans. He'll eat them right along with me. But this morning he didn't want the green bean. That, and he eats fruit too. He'll eat bananas and watermelon and apples. And strawberries. He'll go and pick the strawberries himself. Blueberries. The blueberries, I didn't ever notice that he picked them himself. But he doesn't pick the green beans himself either. He waits till I pick them and give them to him. But he won't eat in the afternoon. He won't eat green beans that were picked in the morning, and he won't eat like day old green beans. But he'll eat canned green beans. Go figure. No, he's not obese. He was fat, but now he's down skin and bones. That's just hair. That's just hair, you see. Yeah, he didn't want the green beans this morning. I don't know why. He's hungry as heck. He didn't get breakfast yet. Oh, he eats the berries too. The raspberries. He'll eat those when I give them to him. And he'll eat pizza and burgers and tacos and all the good stuff too if you're not paying attention. He'll eat anything. But it's what I try to give him the healthy stuff. Uh, his snacks are all pretty healthy stuff too. I buy a lot of uh, dried animal parts, dried fish, stuff like that. I don't give him any table scraps. Every once in a while, if I have cut the fat off a steak or something, I'll give it to him, but not very often. He eats mainly dog food. We tried feeding him that. I tried feeding him that dog food that comes in the refrigerator, the frozen stuff. That's actual fresh food, but it's so dang expensive. I couldn't. There's no way I could afford to feed him like that. I don't even know the name of that stuff. He eats some pretty. The kibble he eats is pretty good. He eats. Excuse me, Purina Pro Plan Sport, the 30/20, and he eats this other stuff called. I mix it. It's called, what's it called? Open Farms, and it's just dried up bits of salmon. The one I get, they got different ones. They got bison and salmon and different fish and different animal mixes. But everything I get them is salmon or fish. Yeah, the Purina Pro Plan. In fact, excuse me, it was right in the dog contract that I had to sign when I got Toby, that I had to feed him a specific food for his first year, and I still feed it to him, but I cut it back because the 30/20, there's a lot of fat in there. So the other food that I get him, that I mix them together, is it's a 30/15 or 30/17. So there's not a lot of fat in it, but it's almost 100% fish. Maria, if you got a link, you could post it on here. Maria's got a new video posted. If you guys make sure to check her out. Just there's anybody you see on. Let's here. I'll give you a blue jacket, and that way make it easier to connect with everybody on here. Anybody you see that's on blue on my channel here, they're super people, and they got super channels. You should check all these people out. Anastasia Blessed lives in Kenya, and she has a little green grocery shop, and she comes on every day live in her shop while she's chopping vegetables for her customers. And Unfiltered Maria has a great channel. She puts on a live stream every day that, I'm not kidding, that's usually got like 50 to 60 people in it nonstop. Talk show. And Helena Koya here, she's got a great channel too. Thousands and tens of thousands. I think she's at over 10,000 followers if I'm not mistaken. And she's got a great channel. She puts on a lot of conversation and a lot of cooking and lifestyle. They're all great people. What do you do as a moderator? Well, with the blue, usually you just use it. It's easier to connect with everybody. You can touch on somebody's name, and it'll bring up that you can go to their channels easier to connect. It just makes it easier. And of course, if you see someone lipping off, uh, you can delete the message. He's Toby's. Let's see. Unfiltered Maria asked title. Did you say he eats raw meat? Very rarely has he had raw meat, and it would be raw beef. I think maybe 2 or 3 times I've cut meat off that when I was trimming a roast or trimming the steak, and I tossed him the raw meat, but not no. Yep, Toby's living the life. Him and the cat are the only ones that never miss a meal. Uh-oh. I wonder if Toby's even looking. The squirrel's coming at him. I better grab a hold of this leash. The squirrel's right here in the middle of the street, coming at him. Toby's not looking. Toby must be asleep. The squirrel's looking at Toby. He's out like a light. Just do you feed your dog raw chicken bones, which is a no-no in the U.S. Yes. I actually, Toby got into cooked chicken bones once, and I was so scared because you never know, those bones can shatter and get stuck. I called the animal hospital. I thought I was going to have to take him in, and they said no, just wait and see, and he passed them. Dista, do you have a lot of content on your channel? I haven't gone over there to see yet. I'll have to, let me think. Oh yeah, dogs love the bones. I'll come visit. If you subscribe and leave me a comment on one of my on a short or a video. That way I can come to your channel. I can find you. Because from here I won't be able to find you from here. I can't open another window. I'm on my phone. Okay, great. Thanks for subscribing. We'll come look for you and return after a day, so that the subs stick and YouTube doesn't take them away. Little Toby boy. He's such a good boy. Just Bones. Somebody was telling us the other day that they don't even feed their... Oh, the lady in one of Anastasia's customers was saying they don't even feed their dogs. The dogs got to find food for themselves. Look at this. His little feathers here. He's filling out good. Well, folks, our 2 hours are up, and it's time for me to get to work. I've had a lot of fun talking today, and thanks to everybody for coming and saying hi, coming to visit. We try to come on every day, but it doesn't happen. Yes, Maria, I will adopt you. Yeah, so everybody, thanks for coming by. We're going to say goodbye now, and we'll be back tomorrow or the next day with another walk and some live stream. We'll our next walk, we'll head for the north end of town, and we can look at the big old mansions. How's that? You guys take it easy, and I'll see you on the streets. Come here, Toby. Say goodbye to the peoples. Come and say goodbye. Come and say goodbye to the peoples. Say goodbye, buddy. Everybody take it easy. And peace. We'll see you next time. Peace and love. Everybody have a good day, and we'll see you on the streets. Just at about 10:30, Anastasia comes on with a live stream. You should check her out. Anastasia Blessed. Bye, everyone.